bringing to you. Every time we turn live, man, you know it's the truth. Every after show, moving down, this the time to move around. No Gimmicks podcast is going down. Every night, every time in the ring. This is time for no gimmicks, no, we doing our thing. What's your state of mind? State divine. Moving down a statement when we take the line. This is exactly wrestling the state design. When you see Stone Cold like me, with the stunner in the world, exactly, man, what we bring. Every night we move like Brock Lesnar. The F5, no gimmicks. We take you to your limit. What's the feeling? When we live in the air, you know we on. It's the time. Guarantee we move. You know how we respond. The state design. The state design when we feel it.
Yo, 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 yo. What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome back to the No Gimmicks podcast here on the DFPN. We are here live on a special day at a special time because we are doing our first episode in our Path to Destiny series. We're working with Metroplex Wrestling here in Bedford, Texas, and we are going to be presenting some brand new people to the show. One of some people you never heard of, some you have. So the first guest we have today is a very good guest, a very informative guest that we're going to be having on the show today. He is making his return to Metroplex Wrestling, or MPX as we affectionately call it here in the area. He's making this return to the promotion. He returned back at the Texas Rumble. Had a very good showing. Didn't win the Rumble, but that's why he's here today, because we have to lead ourselves into destiny. He said that he had a path to destiny, and that's why we have him here today. Ladies and gentlemen, the former MPX champion, live with us here at No Gimmicks, Tatum Manning. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, brother. Everything good with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much
thank
for
you
your
for
time.
having me. I appreciate you.
Oh man, it's an honor to have you here. Been watching you for a while. You had a very outstanding reign as MPX champion. You unfortunately lost that championship, and it led to you quitting the company. Now, fast forward to the Rumble, and you return back to the company. And based on how you left, you came back to a lot of fanfare. How was that an adjustment to? Was it weird for you considering how you left?
Considering how I left, it was definitely a surprise. I had a lot of emotions go through my head and my heart. All I knew was that I was back, and I know how I've changed, but our crowd doesn't necessarily. We have a very loyal fan base who has, they have been coming every week. That's very uncommon for shows on the independent level to run every single week.
Right.
So we've grown. We've had a very loyal fan base that has grown over time. And the last time that, all of our fans, our MPX addicts, as we call them, saw me, I was MPX champion for on the verge of 10 months. I was not a good guy. I did a lot of very malicious things to people, said a lot of bad things, did a lot of bad things, cheated on a consistent basis. And that's just not who I am anymore. I had 6 months away to really change and think about myself, who I am as a person and as a performer. The man that you see now is me. This is me. And I was very afraid of how people would receive me when I came back. But as they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And as soon as my name hit that screen, I heard that reaction from the other side of the curtain. And I busted through that curtain. I stood on that stage, and I could not be happier with the response that I got.
Yeah, that's actually true, because I was there when you quit MPX, and it was a Rumble. So to see you come back with that type of fanfare, and see how many people actually still loved you, you are right about that, man. Absence definitely makes the heart grow fonder. And talk to me about what that title did to you. Like what does that? Because I don't think the normal person understands. Like, you're at the highest of highs holding that championship. What did that do to you trying to keep that title?
Well, me personally, I got my start at Metroplex Wrestling. I started training there in summer of 2017 before my senior year of high school. I've been involved, deeply involved with this company, since I was a teenager. The person that I am now is a completely different person than, I was when I started there. I won the MPX championship back at Destiny 2022. I won the Texas Rumble in 2022. I went on to the main event of Destiny, and I beat Tommy Becker for my first MPX championship. That was an amazing moment for me. That was a very feel-good moment. I was very emotional. Our crowd, who had seen all of my growth over the last, handful of years, was very happy for me. The reception that I got then was very similar to the reception that I've gotten these last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my first MPX championship reign lasted about 4 months. There were a few difficulties during that time. I was working through a few different injuries. And, above all else, I think I was still struggling a little bit to figure out who I really was and who I really wanted to be. So it was a weird time for me. And like I said, it only lasted, 3.5, 4 months. I lost my first MPX championship to Exodus Prime at the Purge in 2022. After that, I took some time off. I was a
Mm-hmm.
little disappointed with how everything happened after Destiny 2022. I had wished that I had had more time at the top of our company. I wish that I had a better MPX championship reign, and I didn't know if that opportunity was ever going to come my way again. So I come back and I have 2 matches, and then all of a sudden I find myself in a position where I get my rematch for the MPX championship at For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Right.
2022 was the name of that show. The main event was Athena versus Abaddon. It was a great show.
Banger of a match.
And
I was there for that.
yes, sir. And we went on before that, and I gave it everything that I had. To this day, I consider that one of the absolute best matches I've had in my career. I've gone at it with Exodus Prime one-on-one in a handful of different promotions many times over the last 4 years now, and
Mm-hmm.
that is one of the best performances I've ever had. And I recaptured the MPX championship. When Exodus beat me at the Purge, Exodus was a guy who would talk down to our crowd, tell everybody how dumb and stupid they are and how much better he is than them. But when the ref counted to 3 and raised his hand, I heard this roar, this big loud, oh, like people were almost happy and excited. And that hit me in this weird way that made me question, I give everything that I have for our crowd. I sacrifice a lot, my body.
Right.
I'm 23. I got the back pain of a 40-year-old. My joints pop when I walk. And
Right.
I'm doing everything that I can and pouring my heart and soul into this, but sometimes it can definitely feel like it's just not enough. And that feeling sat with me for 3 months after 2022's Purge. And while I was away, I think that kind of ate at me slowly. And so when I came back and I won my second MPX championship, I had it for a longer time,
Right.
and I think that really changed me in a way that made me definitely bitter. But also I told myself, I have this again. The last time I had it, it wasn't what I wanted it to be. It wasn't what I thought it would be, and it didn't
Mm-hmm.
last as long as I wanted it to last. So I will do every single thing in my power this second time around to make sure that I do not lose this title. I will stay at the top of the mountain that is this company by any means necessary at all costs. And that resulted in me cheating. That resulted in me taking shortcuts, taking the easy way out, playing mind games with people, doing and saying things that I wouldn't normally rationally do. And that really changed me in that aspect. The content of my character completely flipped, did a 180. I was used to, getting a warm reaction every time I came out through that curtain, stepped in that ring. I was the good guy for so
Right.
long.
Right.
And a lot of days that was very fulfilling, and some days it wasn't. But with the times, people change, and I took that complete 180 turn. I became a completely different version of myself that I don't think anybody else had ever seen before.
Wow.
And in very similar ways, I've now done that again. This is who I am. I came back. Like I had 3 months to sit on those emotions the first time I left. I had 6 months this time. I had twice as long to sit on all these emotions
And
after
just let
I,
it stew.
yep, after I lost the MPX championship to Aaron Eagle at Purple Rain this most recent August, one of our biggest shows of the year, and I lost in the main event. Next week, I came out and I whined and I cried and I demanded to get a rematch, demanded to get my way, and I got beat by Matt Palmer. And that was just too much for me to handle. And instead of, sucking it up and dealing with the consequences of my words and my actions, I quit. And that was a very immature thing for me to do. Our crowd had a great tantrum Tatum chant that got pretty popular.
Yep.
And I listened to that on my way out, and I thought, is this really what I want for myself? And is this what I want for my future and my relationship with our loyal audience? And it wasn't. So I knew when I came back, something needed to change.
Okay. So in that you said you pretty much grew up in front of that crowd.
I most
And
definitely have. Yep.
and it makes me wonder, like, how much pressure were you putting on yourself to actually be great, which you achieved that by getting the title, but I'm sure there's added pressure with being the champion. How much of that did you feel in those moments?
I don't know about pressure that was put on me by anybody else. Obviously everybody who gets into this, any area of your life, if you take it seriously and you're passionate about it, you want to be great at it.
Right.
Um, and I did want to be great. I didn't ever start off with the intention of, telling myself I'm going to be the best to ever do it in this company or in this building or in this ring. I'm going to be better than the guy next to me. I just wanted to be the best version of myself. That can be a very good mindset to put yourself in. It can also be a
Yeah.
very toxic mindset to put yourself in.
Right.
That
Because you're
that
your
all
own worst critic
Yeah, absolutely.
in
But
those
that
moments. Yeah.
that mindset and how that affects you 110% comes down to you and how you let it affect you.
I get that. I definitely get that. So now you're in the climb back. How important, based off everything you said, how important is it on this climb to be humble to you?
Um, I think that's the biggest lesson that I've learned in my time away is to be humble and understand that you might not be MPX champion. You might not necessarily be at the top of the mountain, but everybody has something to contribute to our company. Everybody has something to contribute to this business, this lifestyle that we live in, that is pro wrestling. Everybody has a place. It's just a matter of finding your place.
Okay. That's a great answer. That's actually a great answer. Do you feel after everything you've done, do you feel like you have some fences to mend? Is there anybody like you look at and you're back now? Obviously the fans love you. You've done some things to some wrestlers. Do you feel like you have any fences to mend?
I definitely do. I can say as much as I want to our crowd and say I'm happy to be back. I'm a changed person, but actions speak louder than words.
Right.
I know that there will be people who go, "Oh, he doesn't mean it." He just wants to evoke a certain reaction out of us, but that's not who he really is. And those things take time. You can mend a bridge that was burned. It just takes rebuilding. Um, as far as the people in the back go, I uh I did a lot of things that I definitely would not do or say to people now. I had very, very intense, heated, and personal feuds with people like Sky de la Cremosa, people like Red Chambers.
Yep.
The list goes on and on.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that that's what made me ask it is like, yeah, you got the fans, but how much of the wrestlers, like, do you have trust back like that back yet, or is that something that you have to earn?
Trust is always something that you have to earn. And you might earn trust and then take that and ruin it, like I have done with some people. You can stab somebody in the back, or you can inadvertently hurt somebody, not knowing that they put their trust and their belief into you. And I believe that that is also what I've done with a lot of people. I haven't made a whole lot of friends, especially in the last year and a half. Um, relationships with the people around you are very important. And like I said, I'm more than willing to do everything I can to fix everything that was ruined. It's just a matter of time.
Okay. Okay. So let's move forward. Let's start talking Destiny. You
Okay.
mentioned on your last match, you did a promo after, and you mentioned you won't be wrestling for the championship at Destiny, but you do know what your destiny is. And I'm curious, does this Destiny hold a championship in your view?
For the foreseeable future, I do plan on making an announcement at Metroplex Wrestling regarding my personal plans for Destiny. Do they involve a title? At the moment, not not in the foreseeable future. Not That's not in my direct line of sight right now. Like I said on the mic, I'm back. I'm here to create more memories. I'm here to be the best version of myself and give every single person who pays their hard-earned money to show up and give us their love and their acceptance and their energy and their appreciation. I'm here to give everybody what they deserve and what they paid for. I'm here to show up and show out and put on a show for every single person who cares about this company.
I love it. I love it. So let's look at that also, the current landscape of MPX, right? So you have guys like the Texas Wrestling Commission, right? Who ran roughshod since you've been gone. You have Aaron Eagle, who's back at the top. Tommy Becker's the MPX champion. These are all kind of familiar people to you.
Mhm.
I'm curious, what do you think of this scenario, and where do you see yourself in the pack right now, and what's your climb looking like?
I think that right now it's very fresh. I returned at the Texas Rumble. Obviously, my plan was to win and go on to main event Destiny, and that didn't happen. But instead of complaining, I'm moving on to what I feel could possibly be something bigger and better, and maybe more meaningful for me and who I am and where I'm at right now. And like I said earlier, with the times, people change, landscapes change. There was the first time I've ever taken an extended break from Metroplex Wrestling was when I had a shoulder injury on Christmas Day. That was 2021. I was gone for 3 months. That's when I came back and I won the Texas Rumble. The landscape had definitely changed then. I took a break after I lost the MPX championship to Exodus Prime at the Purge in 2022. When I'd come back, the landscape had definitely changed. I think that a part of me growing up in front of our crowd has been me learning to adapt to new environments and overcome the obstacles that come with a new environment.
Okay. Okay. I, I was gonna ask what can we expect from you from MPX Destiny, but I like to wait and see for this one.
Yeah, I
I
hate
like
to
to wait
leave
and
you
see.
hanging. Hate to leave you hanging, but man, what I can tell you right now is that I'm really, really excited for what the future holds. Destiny is in my hometown, Grand Prairie, Texas, where it all began for me. This is where I
Yep.
grew up. This is where I fell in love with pro wrestling. As a kid, I didn't have hobbies, man. I made it through school on Friday night where I could sit in front of my staticky TV and watch Friday Night SmackDown. So this is really a full circle moment for me. Even though I don't want to sound so cliche. But I've wrestled in my hometown before, but this is just something completely different and very, very special for me. I plan on coming in with 110% effort, energy, passion. I'm giving it everything I've got on March 16th.
Absolutely. This is the biggest show MPX has done. It's going to be at the Epic. You mentioned in your hometown, any family and friends attending?
Maybe a little bit, not a whole lot. My parents have been very supportive ever since I started training at MPX back in 2017. I'm here to show out for my city, man. That's really what this is for me. We can invite people, best way of marketing is word to mouth, so
Yep.
one person talks, another person talks. You got people from Grand Prairie represent Grand Prairie, celebrities, boxers, so I'm looking to do, the closest to the same thing that I can get, because pro wrestling is my hustle, man. This is my life. This is my lifestyle. This is the most important thing to me. So to be able to do that in my city and represent my people is very important for me, and I'm really, really excited.
I'm excited for you, man. So
Thank
any
you.
last shots, parting shots you wanna get out there to the people?
Man, all I can say right now, March 16th, Destiny is going to be MPX's biggest show, possibly of all time. What I've got lined up right now, like I said, I have an announcement coming in the next couple of weeks. This has the potential to be the biggest match of my career. So stay tuned. Whether it's in person or you're watching on Twitch every Saturday night. I look forward to knowing that you're involved. I look forward to seeing you there. And man, Destiny is going to be a movie, man. I can't wait.
I can't wait either, man. But first things first, we got the show tomorrow, the Wrestling Revolver. I know you guys will be there. So if you're in the area, please go to the Wrestling Revolver shows. These guys all show up, and it's always a good time. Always banging matches. So show up there, and then March 16th, come back because we got MPX Destiny at that same venue. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a great time. Well,
yes, sir.
Tatum, thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you, brother.
No problem, man. Anytime you want to come, you have a friend in the podcast, and
yes, sir.
If you got something you want to promote, the door's always open for you, my guy.
Always.
All right. Well, that does it for episode 1 of The Path to Destiny. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for letting your voices be heard. Come back for episode 2. We'll announce when it happens. But until then, you guys be safe. And as always, enjoy the wrestling. Y'all have a good one.
And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks.